Well, it happens when everyone's master tier, basically. They've probably got...
Oh, yeah, true.
master tier
High
PCs.
elo, high elo buff, we'll call it.
Yeah.
But we are onto the Rift. Are there... we didn't even get to talk about summoner spells and runes, but I don't think there's anything too strange showing up. Aftershock on Dom Ponk. I think Thresh is probably the only thing you could maybe question. Maybe Guardian would be good. Maybe Aftershock's better. I'm not sure. I think both work.
Halo Blades is the best rune on Cogmore right now.
I personally like Lethal Tempo. I can understand Halo Blades here with the Braum, which means you can proc that passive so much faster.
Yeah, that's the main thing I think there. Now, both teams just kind of gonna chill. They're just gonna enjoy the river as it moves slowly along.
Standard 5-point defense on both sides.
Yeah, enjoying the sounds of nature of the Summoner's Rift.
Does not look like we're going to get any late invade shenanigans in this level 1 defensive ward in the Invul red side. Going to be spotting out anything, but it doesn't look like Cast wants to go for that late invade. Chaos Senpai and Fatty P just going to keep the area in vision in case of any shenanigans. Johnsony starting on his blue, both junglers actually, starting towards their bot side.
And that shield already stacking up the heat for Rumble, getting that extra damage early, as you want to do, and also obviously increasing the shield, so the less damage taken.
Speaking of lane swaps, they have Darkside electing to go for the lane swap level 1.
I'm surprised it's level 1, but I guess they just really did not want that early matchup of the Maud into the Malphite.
Yeah, not going to enable Malphite to get too far behind. But we will see if the Aurelia fares any better. And it looks like Malphite already taking a decent amount of punishment from Loftition in the mid lane, but being able to return back with some of his own. Don Ponk taking a bit of a chunk in the bot lane as well. The Winter's Bite and the Bio Arcane Barrage really coming through useful for Mama and Hellman. Flash forward, the hook connecting onto Hellman though, and the Ignite going to go down. Flay knocking the Cogmore back in, and the Exhaust is going to come through. Flash heal burned from Hellman. It's 4 summoners from the Invul bot lane in trade for only 2 from Lundqvist Darkside. Thriller able to keep hold of everything.
Yeah, and they're going to be... Darkside are going to be able to push this in. The Cogmore, Hellman is going to lose a decent amount of farm.
Oh, never mind.
If they can.
Yeah, the stack for the cannon really going to enable that wave to get shoved in a lot faster.
Yeah. Now, one thing, particularly in the top lane now, Aurelia has mana and burns through it quite easily compared to, obviously, Mordekaiser has no mana issues at all.
Yep.
That is something the Aurelia Fatty P has to be a little bit wary of in that top lane matchup.
We see the early recall actually as well, coming through from the Lundqvist Darkside bot lane. Longsword for the Vayne and just some boots for the Thresh.
I think boots is always a good pickup for a support as early as possible.
I would have to agree.
Enables very early roams against a Nocturne that may not be expecting it.
Darkside potentially looking to set up some kind of dive here, or at least just an invade to get some information. Cast moving up towards this top side, and Falio could be under threat. The Flawless Roulette going to go wide, and the devastating charge will come through. Not going to be a full dive, though, as Falio's turning the damage back onto Cast. Knocked to just below 100 HP, but is going to be able to heal that up.
Yeah, really unfortunate for Fatty P that he just wasn't quite able to land that. Is it a stun? Or
yeah, it's a stun.
Yeah, the stun there. That just would have enabled the game to go through.
It's quite a difficult stun to land, to be fair.
Yeah.
Invul now with the pressure, though, towards this bot lane. Having the shove in. Johnsony, both junglers, really, on the bot side. Mama with the shield. Don Ponk stunned up. Bio-Arcane Barrage coming through. Condemn not going to quite push Hellman into the wall. And Cast is here. The Ghost and Lantern going to get him into lane. Mama looking very low. The Silver Bolts stacking up. And that is first blood for Thriller. Johnsony now here, but can he do anything to turn around? Cast going to get stunned up by the Braum passive and is going to go down to the Rumble. So Invul answering back, but losing the trade overall 2-for-1.
And the power of Thresh really shown the ability for that Hecarim to get in that quickly
Yeah.
because of the Thresh Lantern. Absolutely crucial in that gank, going the favor of Lundqvist, of Darkside.
Tripping over your words a little bit.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, Loftition, Chaos Senpai getting taken quite low. Those Umbral Blades going to do a number. The flash away from the Malphite, gonna take him to safety. And Chaos Senpai survives to fight another day.
Just about.
Disconnection from Loftitions. We are in a bit of a pull.
Very lucky that he hadn't disconnected, still trying to auto-attack the Malphite.
Yeah, well, that would not have been ideal in the slightest.
Well, this DC gives us a little bit of time, this pause. Just have a look at, we'll have a look at the CS difference in each lane. The top lane is already starting to be a small CS lead, about 9 CS for that Aurelia, for Fatty P into Falio.
That's not how maths works. That's 11, not 9.
My bad. Long day at work, guys. Please, please forgive me. Yeah, long day at work, but yeah, even more than I thought. And I think that just goes to show just how well, even in this early stage, that switch, that lane swap has worked out. I think the Malphite would have really struggled to CS anywhere nearly as well against that Mordekaiser as the Aurelia has done.
Yeah, I can't help but agree. But if we look at the jungle and the mid lane, those CS leads favouring Invul slightly. Very close in the jungle, especially as Cast is on his Raptor camp. So that CS lead should pretty much equalise as soon as we get out of this pause. Loptician about a wave ahead of Chaos Senpai, has had the pressure in that lane as the Nocturne. I think you would expect him to be winning out that matchup slightly. Bot lane for Helmet and Marma, though, not going so well right now.
Yeah, and the pressure of the Thrush Rain combo mixed with that fantastic use of the Lantern to bring Hecarim, to bring Cast into that gank as quickly as possible, means that 10 CS down, but more importantly, it's the kill on the Vayne.
The first
already.
blood gold on the Vayne.
Significant amount of gold up on that Vayne there.
Yeah, we can take a look at the gold. Oh, we can't. Never mind. We can't take a look at the gold values because. Oh, no, we can. Doesn't matter. You can switch it in a port. And yeah, if we look at the gold values, you can see almost 600 gold in the lead for Thriller. With the gold difference between the two teams only being 800, that speaks volumes as to where the whole gold lead pretty much is.
And if there's any champion you want to have a significant gold lead at any point in the game, I would guarantee you most people would say Vayne.
Yeah.
That champion went ahead, can brutalize teams.
Yeah, definitely a champion who can have some serious 1v9 moments.
Yeah. Oh, what's his name? Was it Gosu?
Yes.
An old League streamer, YouTuber, who was known for his legendary Vayne tactics.
Yeah, the amount of montage and highlight clips I've seen. That man playing Vayne is a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, and even if it may hurt your soul, as a as the slight Invul bias there may be, but seeing someone pop off on a Vayne, even if it happens to be this game, is always exciting.
Oh, it is always. It's very exciting to watch. Because some of the things that people who are proficient at Vayne can do is a little bit mind blowing.
Yeah, and it's genuinely so impressive. It's the foresight, because obviously Vayne being one of the lowest attack range ADCs, you have to put yourself in ridiculously immediate danger with no real way of keeping yourself alive apart from the invisibility and moving within that invisibility during her ultimate, during final hour.
Yeah, final hour.
Yeah, during final hour. If you don't have your ult, you have no real survivability apart from a small dash. And it's so impressive what people are able to do with that dash, with that invisibility. But we've talked enough about Vayne.
Yeah, I think we might have done.
Yeah. What other threats are there against the Vayne or on Darkside's team as well.
I mean, oh, we are back into game. Back over. I have frozen. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Your end, have you frozen as well?
Yeah, I think it's just a pause bug, unfortunately, because we all know that the League client doesn't always necessarily work as one would want.
I'm going to jump back 15 seconds, play from there, and see if it works. So we're going to just see what happens here. I'm not sure if this is going to work as intended. But...
Oh, I'm ready. Like my.
Okay, there's the DC. I think it's fixed because we're still playing. Yeah, I think it's fixed. Yeah, I fixed it. Are you at the right timestamp?
Give me a second. Time controls. What time are you?
Go to 5:44. We will be back underway very, very shortly, guys. Just small indie company difficulty.
Yeah. So my time is 5:50 now.
5:50 now. Okay, let me go 6 seconds, and I will count you in. 3, 2, 1. Go.
Okay.
We are back underway. Apologies about that, guys. But back into game. We haven't missed anything, thankfully. Just a few CS here and there.
Should be.
Oh, the stun going to come through onto Falio, and Fatty P has the level 6. Johnsony getting dove on by Caster his Krugs as well. But Darkside really attacking this top lane. Falio just dinging up to the level 6 as Darkside begin to prep a dive, bringing Chaos Senpai up towards the top lane. But they notice the level 6, don't want to fight in the Death Realm, and call off the dive.
Yeah, I think that's sensible. You cannot dive a Mordekaiser unless you know he will die to even one of you, just because if half your damage gets cancelled, well,
definitely not. Yeah, definitely not ideal.
Definitely not.
Oh, Falio going to get caught by another stun. The flawless duet really starting to come through from Fatty P, and not really much able to be traded back by Falio.
Yeah, the movement of that champion, the movement of Aurelia, just bamboozling Mordekaiser, bamboozling Falio. He cannot get anywhere near with his really. I mean, it's the champion. He's just such a very slow champion.
And another flawless duet connects. The Vanguard's Edge is going to come down as well. The Death Realm going to be popped. Flash away, and it's just going to be a solo kill for Fatty P. Not even taken below 50% HP.
Wow. It's so difficult, though, to deal with an Aurelia, particularly as, like you said, a relatively slow champion.
And we see the Bramble Vest picked up by Falio.
Interesting first item.
We also see the Bramble Vest from Chaos Senpai, which I think is a little bit more expected.
Yeah, but for both sides, having a Bramble Vest on the tankier champions is going to be really needed.
Oh, 100%. And it looks like Lundqvist Darkside setting up in this bot side river, trying to grab control of the area so they can look for this first dragon. Thriller pushing forward very aggressively on to Johnsony in that jungle. Rumble not being allowed any of his camps, managing to grab the big wolf away though.
Would you like to see Invul potentially now matching the swap back?
I almost think it's a bit late.
It's possibly, yeah.
Oh, Falio is just going to get run down again here by Fatty P. Trying to bait though. The Equalizer going to come down. The Paranoia through as well. And Lofdishing going to pick up that kill. Nicely answered. They know they can't contest the dragon. So answering on the cross map. Going to grab the Herald. Going to shove the top wave in and maybe even grab a few plates up towards the top side. Nicely answered, Rick.
Yeah. And really, really well done.
Ooh, but Chaos Senpai, looking up towards this Rift Herald, might get himself jumped on if he's not careful.
It's a tank Malphite with no follow-up.
Just grabbing the honey fruit and walking himself away.
Yeah. I think that's definitely the most sensible option. You don't have the damage to disrupt. You're just going to waste a little bit of time.
But that's some nice gold back into some of the Invul pockets. Lofty getting the kill. Assists both for Falio and Johnsony. And a plate in the top lane for Falio.
Yeah. And the Rift Herald obviously will be able to be used before those plates go down as well, guaranteeing, well, almost guaranteeing a couple more plates when it does.
If it hits the
eventually
turret,
get
it's
put
2
down.
plates guaranteed, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Potentially even guaranteed.
You always want to use it about the 2.5 plate mark. So by the time
Yes,
you're
just
autoing
under.
the turret, yeah,
I think it's about
Now-
2,300 HP on the turret or something like that.
yeah. Now Donpong is playing very aggressive,
But he knows he
into this.
can. He has the Noon
Yeah.
Quivered ADC, whereas Hellman only has those Berserker Greaves. But that's not going to stop the Cogmore from dishing out damage with that Halo Blades.
Yeah. And it's so difficult for the Vayne, who does not have the range, who just does not have the range to answer back without taking even heavier repercussions.
And yeah, I mean, you talk about the range advantage. That's before you even factor in the Bioarcane Barrage, adding extra range
Yeah.
onto that Cogmore, making it even more difficult for the Vayne to be
Yeah.
able to return damage.
We're now seeing the Malphite actually able to start out damaging Loftician.
Oh, Unstoppable
That
Force going to come
Bramble
through. Is Loftician going to fall here? The Fear's going to go through. No more abilities for that Spell Shield to block. And Chaos Senpai just finding the 1v1.
Solo Bolo in the mid lane. And I said not too long ago that potentially Invul should have looked to switch back.
Oh, Donpong flashing forward with the flame, but Johnson is in the area. Equalizer comes down on to Thriller. Exhaust on the Vayne as well, but no follow-up able to come through. Likely going to be recalls from both of the Darkside bot lanes. No, they're actually going to stay. Not going to be pressured off of the tower. The Ignite coming down onto Mama. Falio, unstoppable Onslaught coming through onto the Mordekaiser. Takes the Hecarim into the Death Realm, but not going to be able to find a kill. Vanguard's Edge going to come through. Misses the drag onto Fatty P as well. And a successful gank in the top side. This game is very, very Lundqvist Darkside favoured.
Yeah, right now you've got an Aurelia who is just absolutely destroying a Mordekaiser. It's now 110 to 65 CS right now. And that Mordekaiser, poor Falio, is just bleeding from 1,000 broken blade cuts, essentially.
It looks like we're opting to swap the lanes here, but Darkside might have this one figured out. It looks like they are going to match it, seeing Loftician staying in the top lane.
Yeah.
Which is very, very good in terms of tempo for Darkside.
Yeah, and more importantly, that means the Nocturne, who you want to be able to use the ult effectively.
Oh, but they might be
towards
looking
the
on
bot
something
lane.
in the mid lane here, onto Fatty P, with that Paranoia and that Equalizer. Johnsony, and here we see it go through. The Paranoia is coming down. The Equalizer dropped as well. The Fear is onto the Aurelia. Johnsony finding the kill. Chaos Senpai teleporting in, but he's 1 versus 3. Is he going to be able to get himself alive? Of course he is. He's playing Malphite. Just manages to walk away. That Frostfire Gauntlet giving him way too much magic resist to be able to fall there. But again, a nice usage of those big cooldowns from the Invul Esports boys.
And taking away a teleport as well from Chaos Senpai.
And that's not what you like to see, though. Rift Herald having to be spawned in base.
Yeah, not quite where they wanted to go. And it's going to the bot lane where, I mean, potentially it might be useful to get Hellman some gold.
Yeah.
But it's not the lane that is winning at all. Well, there's
Yeah,
not
although I was
really a
about to
lane
say, I
winning.
don't think there
Yes.
are many places that you could really consider as winning here in this early game for Invul. Johnson walking through into the bot lane, though, looking to maybe give this Herald a bit of a push towards the turret. Cast also in the area. We could see a 3v3. There is no Equalizer, but the Onslaught of Shadows is available. Donpong going to be slowed up by that Winter's Bite, so not able to look for the hook.
And Rift Herald just
Yeah.
taken. And the percent health.
Just vain things.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it has 3,000 health, you kill it in 3 autos.
Well, it's the percent health on top of the
Yeah.
Kraken Slayer.
Yeah, just. And this is looking to be a pretty uncontested dragon again for Darkside.
Yeah, I cannot say I blame Invul for letting this one go. You're 3,000 gold down. You need to scale. You haven't got mythics anywhere yet. whereas you're fighting into completed items. So there's no point flipping a fight and potentially putting yourselves even further behind. Might as well just let the objective go, scale up a bit more, and maybe fight the next one.
Yeah. And it's not very long until Rift Herald, about 20 seconds before that spawns. And right now, you would say Darkside are in a much better position to try and take that on.
Especially as they have sent their bot lane towards the top side. Recalls come through from Frilla and Don Ponk, and they are ready to rumble in this top side river. Meanwhile, Hellman and Mama staying down in the bot lane, getting whatever farm they can. And you would imagine that this is another objective that is just going to be let through to Lundqvist Darkside. Frilla getting ulted into the death realm. Falio looking for the 1v1 here, but realizing this is not a fight he wants to take. Condemn comes through, stunning Falio against his own tower. Flash on the spot, I find a little bit interesting. The paranoia is thrown down, but Loftition, no vision on the Vayne. The invisibility from that final hour really going to keep her safe. And Chaos Senpai takes a little bit of damage from Hellman, but right now that Malphite is way too tanky.
Yeah. And that is really, really difficult for Falio.
Oh, Cast might be caught out. Going to be found by Johnsony, but Fatty P in the area. Onslaught of Shadow is going to fear up Johnsony, and Loftition going to be the next target for the mid-jungle duo. Not going to be taken low enough, though.
Invul are finding every single avenue. They're trying to do something, just being taken away. And now this is a Rift Herald.
Yeah, it's going to be mid lane turret. The spell shield pop, flash forced out of Loftition. The Flay going to bring him back, though, and Fatty P securing his third kill of the game. Hellman going to look to defend this turret and keep it alive.
Yeah.
But it's looking like a bit of an uphill battle to defend the inner. They do keep it up.
Just about on how much? Well, a decent amount, just over 1,000. Yeah.
Struggling, I think, is the word for that turret.
Yeah.
Bot lane outer turret likely going to be the next thing on the menu for Lundqvist Darkside.
Yeah. Invul's jungle as well is going to be taken away by Cast. Thresh has his lantern ready. Dumpong is just going to lantern cast out. Another turret going down in the favour of Darkside.
Yeah, and we see the gold lead start to extend just over 5k now for Lundqvist Darkside.
Yeah, and it's not quite how maths works, it's just under 5k.
No, it's
rather than
just over 5k, it's nearly 6k.
My screen is slightly behind, that's great.
That'd be it.
Oh, nearly got you. Nearly got the revenge, but no.
Oh well, not quite. But so let's play devil's advocate here, because obviously this is a very winning position for Lundqvist Darkside right now. They are pretty far ahead. I don't think it takes someone particularly knowledgeable about League of Legends to understand that. But from an Invul point of view, how do you come back into this game?
Ooh, difficult. Very
nice
difficult.
dodge on the Vanguard's edge with the spell shift. They're going to come down onto Fatty P as well, and Loftition just going to back himself away. At slightly winning out on that trade. Not that there was much damage exchanged, though.
Yeah, a good use of both champions. Well, basically their full kits, utilizing it as well as they can. How do Invul come back from this? I mean, it's really difficult because Darkside have such a good scaling comp. They've got an Aurelia who just deals so much damage. Will have really good tankiness as well overall, and disrupt both the front and back line of Invul. At the same time, they've got the Vayne, who is just going to cause absolute havoc. The big
Falio might have found Donponk. Look for the ball. Just going to clear the control wood instead.
I do think the Vayne is still very vulnerable, considering a good placed Equalizer, a good placed Rumble ult, and the Paranoia can absolutely devastate the ability.
Fast, going to get interrupted by Falio. Chaos Senpai in the area as well, but look at the damage that Malphite is throwing out. The Netherrealm is called, and Chaos Senpai is going to take a bit of a beating from Falio here, but it looks like the Malphite is actually dishing more out to the Mordekaiser than he can. Cast now going to join the fight. Equalizer comes down. Frilla joining the fight with the final arrow as the unstoppable force comes through. Glacial Fisher going to answer the 1-for-1. Donponk now in the area. Going to be able to get Chaos Senpai to safety with the Lantern. Winter's Bite connecting onto Cast. And now we have a teleport coming through from Fatty P. Loftition not opting to follow. Does pop the Paranoia. Is going to pop the TP now into the river. Could be a chase. Vanguard's Edge connecting on to Hellman. And Fatty P going to get eviscerated by Marma. Johnson flashing away as Loftition, Marma, and Hellman going to push forward onto this Winter's Bite onto cast. The Duskbringer going to connect as well. Can they stack up that stun? Hecarim with 2 stacks on the stun. 3 is going to get the 4. Dom Ponk now the target. Winter's Bite coming through. Hellman going to find that one. And it's a 3-4-1, I believe, in the extended fight there for Invul.
That was a fantastic use of Paranoia by Loftition. Using it to mask exactly where Invul were going while trying to exit out of that first initial team fight.
Stops the dragon stacking as well.
Yeah. Masking it his own TP as well. Using the Paranoia to then get into the fight instantly.
My one issue, and I was about to mention that, my one issue with how that played out from Loftition is he casted the Paranoia and then waited a split second before teleporting, meaning he couldn't get the recast upon the completion of his TP. He wasn't able to get that recast for the dash.
But at the same time, I think Nocturne ult in that situation, it's more about the lack of vision.
Oh, Marma potentially caught out by Dom Ponk and Fatty P here. Not going to opt for the Flay or the hook, though, on to the Braum as they blast Cone into the Baron Pit. But yeah, I mean, the only reason I call out the Nocturne ult there is because that extra damage could have been a 4th kill.
True, but when you're behind...
Oh, no, of course. When you're behind,
like that,
when you're behind, you take that every day.
I mean, that was a shutdown. Yeah, that was definitely at least
It was a shutdown on Thriller. I believe also a shutdown on Fatty P.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a shame that 2 of the kills did go over to Marma, though.
Yes, definitely not who you want the kill to be going on, if anyone, but kill is a kill.
Indeed.
It's definitely still very useful for Invul to be picking up those. Darkside potentially just taking off a bit more than they could chew on that one.
Although I can't blame Darkside for looking for the fight there with the lead that they do have. Loftition gonna get taken very low, having to flash away from the hook after the Stride Breaker. Thriller not gonna get tagged by that Winter's Bite, so just gonna be able to walk himself out to safety. Mid lane in a turret though, in the meantime taken by Darkside as that gold lead begins to grow again.
Yeah, 6k, and I think my maths is fine this time.
Yes, it is.
Yes, good.
3rd time's the charm, Chris. You're all good.
Yeah. So, 9 kills to 6, another turret falling. Invul's still not a single turret down for them.
No.
And that is a decent amount of overall team gold still left on the table for Invul there.
I mean, definitely. But with one fight, as the game starts to get longer, we could see that start to change very rapidly. If you get one good fight and you're able to take 2, 3, 4 turrets, like you mentioned, it's a lot of team gold that can instantly come back into the pockets.
And now, obviously, Baron is up. It has been for the past 2 and a bit minutes. Is that potentially where you see the next fight going down?
It's definitely going to be a big location for a team fight. I think the Dragon in 2 minutes could also be a possibility. Would put Darkside 1 away from that soul. But Invul, if they can stack these Mountain Dragons, might not be terrible for it.
Yeah, I mean, the Mountain Dragons on that, particularly the Mordekaiser, in my opinion, that would be absolutely huge. Really preventing the Aurelia doing too much more to him.
And we have to mention, this is something we didn't actually touch on in the draft that I have only really just noticed. There is not a lot of magic damage coming out of this Lundqvist Darkside team comp.
Yes, but does it matter if you don't have magic damage when you have a champion like Vayne?
This is the question. This is the
armor.
question. But if you can stack enough armor, the Aurelia, the Hecarim, really start to lose their effectiveness in these team fights.
Definitely. However, though, you do have Blade of the Ruined King and Wit's End on the Aurelia, which does obviously counteract some of that armor build-up.
Because AD carry items are balanced.
Yes. Well, you say that, but Blade of the Ruined King is obviously meant to be an AD skirmisher or AD assassin item, like for Viego, the Ruined King.
You can still build it. 180k. It's still a pretty good item. But yeah, definitely going to be still, even though none of the champions necessarily build AP for Darkside, still a lot of magic damage going to be coming.
Definitely. Now, where are we going to be seeing the next action? As the dragon is 20 seconds away, it is going to be third dragon potentially for Darkside.
I wouldn't be surprised if Invul let this die.
Would we see Invul trying to take the Baron instead? They are seen on a pink.
Oh, and now Darkside are going to start to move up. Valio going to get engaged on the Unstoppable Onslaught coming through, but the Death Realm going to take Cast out of the fight. And it's Paranoia onto the Vayne. Noctician on top of Thriller. The Equalizer comes down as well. The Vayne is completely out of the fight. Malphite not able to join yet either. And it's Invul with the health bar advantage so far. But now Chaos Senpai, Fatty P, both in the fight. Thriller able to heal up. Flawless Duet goes wide. And the Unstoppable Force hits for Fatty P. And Thriller not able to get the damage down. And Fatty P falls first to Valio. Mama going to drop in the fight as well as Loftician. Hellman falls to the Vayne as well. And Thriller is hunting. It is hunting season for the Vayne. Triple kill for Thriller. Chaos Senpai trying to hunt down Loftician for the ace. Not going to be able to quite find it. Sorry, as Johnsony, sorry, not Loftician, manages to get himself away. The Unstoppable Force there from Chaos Senpai hitting three members was absolutely huge.
Yeah, it started out okay for Invul. The use of the Nether Realm kind of really stunting the ability for Darkside to do much at the start.
It bought so much time
for Invul, but it wasn't
everyone
enough
to position. We see a teleport coming through now from Chaos Senpai onto Johnsony.
Equalizer.
Equalizer goes down and Cast is dangerously low here. Baron is going to go over to Darkside. Smite was not up. So that was very, very risky with the Equalizer ticking away.
Very much so. Cast living on, I think it was about 150 health.
Something like that,
slightly less. And now you would like to see Invul trying to go towards the dragon. I don't think they can, though. They are 9.
Is just shy of 10,000 gold,
yeah, that's just, I mean, that's pretty much a mythic, a completed item on each carry now ahead for Darkside.
Yeah, definitely looking very rocky here for Invul. But the game is not over until the Nexus explodes. We will see what Darkside can get done with this Baron buff, as this could be the telling factor in this game. If they're able to crack the base and get multiple inhibitors, you would have to feel that this game 1 is going over to Darkside.
I also think that this game could be decided in 4 minutes 42 when next dragon spawns. If that goes to Darkside, if that goes to Darkside, it is a Mountain Soul on a Malphite.
It's not even just the Mountain.
Monolith.
Not even just the Mountain Soul on the Malphite. It's Mountain Soul with a team that is also at a 10,000 gold disadvantage.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, even with Como, who melts tanks, you just think there's just so many resistances.
You say that, but we saw him just hitting the Malphite, and I didn't see the Malphite losing too much health. This Thriller is going to get engaged on Loftician. The Paranoia going to come through, but the Lancing going to carry him to safety. Thriller feared up, the Equalizer down onto Donponk as well. Thriller going to get taken out by the Glacial Fissure, and does drop. Donponk falling as well. Teleport comes through from Fatty P. Vanguard's edge down as well. Loftician going to be fearing him up, and it's going to be a 3-for-0 trade over for Invul. The top lane inner turret going to fall. Triple kill for the Nocturne. That's the kind of play you have to look for if you are Invul at this point.
True, but I have to admit, I think that was more, obviously it was great by Invul to capitalize, but that was definitely some misplays on the side of Darkside. There is no way that there should have been just Thriller and Donponk pushed that far up with so little vision on the rest of Invul. There was 4 members of Invul not caught on a single board. They had no vision. The only, I think that was really poor positioning. And then followed up by, I think, basically Fatty P's realistically only major misstep so far this game. He should not have TP'd.
I don't think the teleport. I don't think the teleport is bad. I think it should have been earlier.
Yes, he should have either not TP'd or realized what was happening at least a couple of seconds earlier.
I don't know if you can actually cast teleport when Paranoia is active, because that might have been the factor. I don't know the interaction there. If someone in Twitch chat knows, let me know. But I don't know if you can actually start channeling that TP when the Nocturnal is active.
Yeah. That is not what you want, though, if you are a Darkside fan. But then again,
I mean,
Invul,
you're still pretty happy with yourself. You're
yes.
9,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, with that 3-1 dragon advantage as well.
Yeah,
And-
Soul coming up in about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you can't teleport when... Yeah, okay, you have like a second after the Paranoia is cast before you can start...
Yeah.
Before you can no longer channel that TP.
Okay, then I do take it back a little bit for Fatty P. However, at that point, possibly saving the TP once
Yeah,
he
possibly.
kind of could. Possibly.
Possibly.
But 30 minutes just gone. 13-10. And it's Darkside very much in control. Even after that misstep, they are still very much in the driver's seat for this game.
I mean, 100%. You take even if you lose a 0-3 when you're 10,000 gold ahead, if you're fighting right outside the enemy's base, they're not going to be able to take your turrets. They're not going to be able to knock those structures down and take back all of that standing gold.
Yeah. And we're seeing Chaos Senpai, level 17, just shy of 4,000 health.
Nearly has that Thorn Mail completed.
And I just want to say 630 armor.
Yeah.
At that much health as well. That is
Malphite, ladies and gentlemen.
ridiculous.
Malphite.
I shred through that. Very difficult task for any champion.
And I want to see maybe I don't know if it would even be good, but I was gonna say maybe a Black Cleaver picked up for Loftition. Chaos Senpai gonna get jumped on now. Uses the Unstoppable Force defensively. Nice to force that cooldown out so close to the Drake spawn. It will come up about 3 seconds, I believe, after the dragon hits the rift.
Yeah, and I mean it's such a huge ultimate, as we saw, in the previous main team fight, how influential it can be.
With that Abyssal Mask as well, able to apply the 15% damage amplification to all allies when connecting onto any target with that Unstoppable Force as well.
15% extra when you've got a Vayne as well.
A Vayne, an Aurelia, a Hecarim. It's just not very good reading if you're an Invul fan. Chaos Senpai, though, decent chunk. About 50% of his HP gone.
Yeah.
Fast getting hit. Don Ponk taking a little scratch as well.
Not Loftition. He does have TP available because he is not.
Oh, and Fatty P, they're looking to engage onto Falio. Falio getting instantly taken down. The Unstoppable Force onto Cogmore as well in the back line. And it's already looking like a very one fight for Darkside. Hellman trying to flash away, but it's just going to get found by Frilla. Marma taken down by the Malphite, and it's just Loftition versus the world. Could be the ace, could well be the game. As we see Fatty P teleporting forward to that massive bot lane wave. Loftition going to drop as well. It's just a case of who picks up the kill. It's going to be Don Ponk. The Thresh finding the final kill of the fight, and likely the final kill of the game as well. Fatty P and Frill are going to find the inhibitor tower. Inhibitor following suit very, very quickly. And that's going to be game 1 of this series.
Yeah, I don't think after some of those team fights there's anything you can do if you are on the side of Invul there. Really well played, though, by Darkside. Very clinical performance in the end.